Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're all fine. I hope you're having fun. It was a it was a nice GAMEWEEK 34 free hit for me, guys. I hope it was the same for you. Sorry, I wasn't able to stream on that day. I was a little bit busy. Um, I'm just smiling because I just cut really close with today's stream as well. I came back from a long drive. I went somewhere and then I came back, and I was like really in a hurry to kind of set up my stream and go online. And then my son, he started kind of he started crying. He said, "I want you to put me to bed," and I was like, "Yes, but." He says no, but no, nothing. Just you gotta put me to bed. So I was like, man, there's like 15 minutes to go to my stream. I ain't got anything set up, and now he wants me to put him to bed. So it took me like 8 9 minutes to put him to bed, and here I am right in front of you streaming, guys. So it was a really close call, but I'm glad I could make it. So that was a bit of something, and just a second. I wasn't able to set up my stream properly, guys, today. Hey CAV, I hope you're doing well, mate. I hope everything is fine. Just give me a second, guys. So this was my game week 34 score, guys. Now moving close to the top 300k. Not where we want to be, but at least we're moving in the right direction. So that's something. Hey San and Peace, hey Hamid, Lightrace, CAV, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you being here for the stream. I didn't get time to set up my team, so this is not how my team looks like, by the way, guys. So give me a second. Obviously I don't have Isaac on the bench. Kivior. There you go. That looks much better. The captaincy is something that we need to consider really seriously today, because if you captain Marmoush today, you're going to be going against Gandhi, which you don't really want to do. If you want to go against Gandhiji, that's totally up to you. I don't, but that's the only reason why you shouldn't captain Marmoush. Otherwise, I think he's a fantastic option. Marmoush today. I still haven't made my transfer. That Saka's gonna go, presumably for Brian Umbumo. So this is gonna be my transfer for today. I'm not gonna make any other transfer. I'm gonna put Ruben Diaz on the bench. Obviously, Salah is not gonna be on the bench. I don't know why he is. It has to be for Morgan Rogers or for Ismail Assar. Yeah, we can do a captaincy poll. Which names do you want me to put on that? Captaincy. I can put Umbumo, I guess. Umbumo is a shout. Marmoush is a shout. Who else do you want to put on the poll, mate? Salah, I guess. Isaac, yeah. Isaac's a nice shout as well. Brighton aren't the brightest, no pun intended. You obviously Salah has to be in with a shout, even though so yeah, I'm gonna put out a poll. Let's see how it goes, guys. So this is how my team looks like at the moment. Yeah, Bowen. Obviously, I think Bowen definitely. Bowen is a fantastic option. I didn't put him in. As an option. This week it's not like we can say Bowen is not the best option. Against Spurs, you never know with Spurs. They're kind of a crazy team. They scored first against Liverpool, and then they totally crumbled in that 5-1 victory for Liverpool. So you never know with Spurs. But definitely. Bowen is definitely a good shout. I agree with you, mate. CAV says Mateta, Saka to Watkins, Mbumo. Mate, I feel that Saka's minutes might be managed due to the midweek PSG game. You know, in my personal opinion, if you can kind of sell Saka for somebody like Mbumo, if you don't already own Mbumo, I think this is a good game week. I mean, this is not a good game week as as a whole overall to get Mbumo. I mean, I'm not even sure how Manchester United are going to line up, whether they're going to rotate a bit or how they're going to go about it. I mean, we're going to have a look at the predicted lineups, of course. But overall, I think this week I think it's a good week to get rid of Saka. CAV, I think I like the move, mate. I like Mateta and Saka to Watkins and Mbumo. I like that move. So it's a pretty solid move, yeah. Or Saka's minutes this game week. I answered that. Hey FPL Sam, great to have you here for a long time, mate. She said I have only assistant managership. Whom should I get? Ashish, I mean, if you want to go for the assistant manager this week and you want to go for a table bonus, I think Crystal Palace game is a really good option for you to go for. I mean, Glasner. But remember, I mean, next week you're going to have to get rid of Glasner and you have to go for somebody like a Pep Guardiola or somebody else. Yeah, so if you want to go for a table bonus, I would go with the Glasner, and if I wanted to go for simply a winning manager without table bonus, I would go for somebody like a Pep Guardiola. So that would be my pick about the assistant manager. Hey FPL Jug, I hope you're doing fine, mate. He says with a Rashford and Saka to Bowen and Mbumo for a -4. I think it's viable. Technically speaking, I mean, you could if you can avoid the -4, because you can do it next week as well, you know, especially for one of those guys, you know. I think that would be equally good, but I like the moves as a whole. I like the moves as a whole. I think it's a good move, Jugs. You want to spread it over 2 game weeks, or you want to go directly this game week? That's totally your call, but I like the moves. I like both the players which you are bringing in. So yeah, it's your call. If you have a follow-up question, you let me know, mate. Sagar says best assistant manager. I already have 3x3 Palace and a Man City player. Oh, you already got 3 Palace. I have assistant manager and bench boost left. My bench is not good. I thought of using AM already. -4 for Mbumo and Visa. What to do? you know, bit of a spot, Sagar. I mean, the only thing to do right now, I mean, you know, if you have one Man City player, then you can use an assistant manager on Pep Guardiola. That's all you can do right now, Sagar. I wouldn't recommend you to transfer out one more player, take a hit, and then bring in Glasner. It's just not viable. I think just go with Pep Guardiola, mate. Go with Pep Guardiola. Simply just assistant manager him, and meanwhile in the 3 game weeks, just set up your bench, and in the last game week play your bench boost. That's the only option you have, in my personal opinion. You know, because you don't have a good bench, you said. Ashish said, I want a permanent manager for the rest 3 game weeks. Whom should I would go with Pep Guardiola, mate, because they need to win to stay in the top 4, and I think they will go for the win. So I personally, if I had to go for a permanent assistant manager, I would pick Pep Guardiola. FPL Sam says, should I start Trossard? If I bring Mbumo for Savio, I have to bench either Trossard or Rogers or maybe Mateta. You can start Trossard, mate. I think Trossard is going to start in this game. You know, his performance in the game against PSG was sporadic at best. You know, I guess he will start the game, but you never know with Trossard. It's a bit of an erratic player. You never know how he is going to perform, mate. One game week he scores 16 points, the next game week he scores 1 point. So you just want to catch Trossard at the right time, you know. That's the only thing with Trossard. Otherwise, I think he's an all-right option. All the Bournemouths are not the easiest team to kind of play against. You know, I granted that. Salah, Saka, 2 Mbumo, KDB for a -4. I wouldn't do that, mate. By the way, let me just go to Twitter and see if I can find some leaks, guys. You know, but technically speaking, I wouldn't do it, mate. I wouldn't transfer out Salah right now, mate. KDB, I'm not even sure if KDB is gonna start, so you know, it just doesn't, for me, it doesn't make sense to. By the way, guys, I just want to say one thing. Like, if you're bringing in players now, you're bringing in players for the next 4 game weeks. You cannot like use your transfers over and over and over again. So if you are bringing in players right now, I would target Brentford. Brentford would be my first choice, right? Bring in Brentford players because they've got a fantastic. They've got a fantastic fixtures coming up. I think they've got the best fixtures coming up in my opinion. Then you're gonna think about Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa. I'm in Manchester City. Obviously, they need to win their game, so I like their fixtures a lot as well. Everton, West Ham, you know, these are the teams I would target, and I would kind of stay away from bringing in any Liverpool players. For example, I would shy away from Palace players if possible. I would kind of get rid of them if I could. I would again stay away from bringing in any new Wolves players, or somebody might be tempted to bring in Bruno Fernandes. I would just stay away from these players. I would target only these teams like Manchester City, Nottingham Forest, Everton, West Ham. But first of all, I would target Brentford. I mean, this is the team which I would target. Vissa for Mateta for a -4. Giovan, I'm not sure for a -4. I mean, this is the move. I like the move, but -4 is something which is a little bit doubtful for me. ID Office says, hi FPL Wiz, thoughts on Saka and Foden to Mbumo and KDB or Trossard for a -4. Mate, I'd simply play Foden and move Saka to Mbumo. I'm not even sure about KDB, whether he starts or not. I'm on Twitter. I'm trying to look at if we get any leaks or anything like that. I'll let you know, but as of now, I'm not so sure, mate. About KDB. I'm trying to see if I can get some leaks, on Twitter. Both Manchester United and Spurs managers have clearly said they will rest players focusing on the Europe. And they should, mate. I think they should as well. They've got a chance to get into the Champions League, which they otherwise don't have in the Premier League. Why would they kind of risk their key players in this game? Doesn't make sense. Yasa says, hi, was up to 104k. Could have easily gone to 80k had I not gambled on Strand Larsen over Cunha. Well, that's a great rank to be on anyways, mate. Push as hard as you can, and you might make to that top 50k as well. And I think that's a fantastic rank to be on. Also top 16 in the FPL Wiz Cup. That's great. Yes, us. Keep on going, mate. Once you win, just let me know so I can get you a nice goodies delivered for winning the cup, mate. Azmir says, hey Wiz, Mbumo or Bowen more essential for the week? I think Mbumo is a better pick as compared to Bowen. I think Mbumo has a higher ceiling than Bowen, just looking at the recent game weeks. Mbumo's kind of, is easily, can have a 12, 13 point game week, On the other hand, Bowen might score 1 goal, 10, 11 pointer. I think the ceiling of Mbumo is higher. Also, Manchester United will rotate, and so will Tottenham. But I just feel that Brentford are overall a better team than West Ham, and in a better form at the moment as compared to West Ham United. So personally, I prefer Mbumo. Arsenal versus Bournemouth is a tricky one, tough one, but I think they'll concede. Dilemma whether stick with Saliba, with Raya, or start Konza. I'm taking out Kiwior, mate. I'm dividing the risk a little bit, and I'm just going with one Arsenal defender. I don't want to put in Kiwior alongside Raya. Just don't think it's worth it, mate. I also think that Arsenal will concede in this game. Saka out for Mbumo or Bowen, and Evanilson out for Vissa. Really tempted to go Vissa as he looks the differential and can really kill it against the West United. I think that's a really good move, yes, us. Even for a -4, Mbumo and Vissa looks good, and with Evanilson. Yeah, definitely. I think this move makes sense to me. This -4 makes sense to me. I have KDB. Should I do KDB to Mbumo? Ashish, I'd probably wait a bit. I think if we get some news, I'll let you know. And let's see if we get the news whether KDB is starting or not, and then you can make this decision. It will be easier for you, but you have to make a contingency plan just in case KDB is starting. What will you do? What moves will you make? Just keep that in mind. Last year rank was 50k, plan was to be in top 10k. Well, it's top 10k is just getting harder by the year, mate. You know, you need some luck and obviously some forward preparation. Top 10k is doable, but you know, it's not that you know, not totally dependent on how you play only. You know, it also depends on how people around you are playing, and you know, that kind of contributes to the overall rank. So I guess if you can get into the top 50k this season, I think that's a pretty good place to be in. I mean, you have to set realistic targets based on what rank you are now, not what rank you wanted to be in at the start of the season. It just isn't it'll just you know, it'll be bad for your confidence, you know. So set realistic targets and try to achieve them, mate. Top 50k is fantastic, in my opinion, as of now, as of where you are right now. Murphy to Mbumo, yeah, I guess why not? Start Liverment over Kiwior. Yes, I would start Liverment over Kiwior. My transfer will be Saka to Mbumo, mate. Salmon Lee says, good evening, mate. Good evening, Salmon Lee. Hope you're doing well, mate. I hope you're having a great season. If we don't get any news, well, that's the contingency plan. I mean, if you don't get any news, then you can do KDB to Mbumo, mate. But technically speaking, if you have somebody like a Saka, then you don't need to transfer out KDB. I mean, in the event that KDB is starting, obviously you won't transfer him out. But in the event that you don't get any news, I'd still prefer to transfer out Saka over KDB for Mbumo. Yasa says, I really want to captain Vissa, but just don't want to take that risk cause swings would be crazy. Maybe Isak captain for me. I think that's Isak is a decent captaincy shout, mate. I think he is a decent captaincy shout, definitely. My 4 defenders are Rhea, Saliba, Guardiola, and Ruben Diaz. Should I adopt Saliba for Munoz? If I was you, I would do it, mate. I think I would. I don't think you need to double up on Arsenal defense in this particular game. That's what my personal opinion is. The only issue with the Brentford versus United game for me is I don't think United would want to lose with a heavy margin in this game. So I think it's just they're gonna defend. They're gonna just try to play the conservative style. So I'm not sure how much Mbumo or even Brentford can be effective against that kind of strategy. You know, so that's something which you want to think about. Not going for Marmoush just because I also don't want to go for Marmoush, mate. You know, evidently, I might change my captain as well. I've never taken a hit for a goalkeeper, but considering bringing in Pickford for a -4. For who, Lightrays? Which player are you planning to transfer out? Rhea? If it's Rhea, then I wouldn't do it. Casper says, now our next run for assistant manager. If you want to do it this week, mate, and you don't have 3 Crystal Palace players, I would put it on Glasner and then move it to Pep Guardiola in the next week. Or if you just want to play conservative, then put it on Pep Guardiola for the next 3 weeks and set and forget. One transfer Saka to Mbumo or Mateta to Vissa. I'd say Saka to Mbumo. I feel that the ceiling of Mbumo is more than Vissa, mate. CAV says, thinking of Marmoush or Watkins captain, admittedly I am chasing. I totally understand your point. I mean, Watkins captain is a good shout, mate. You know, I mean, all the Fulham defense will concede. Not sure how many they will concede. You know, they're not like they've not been conceding as many goals. You know, but I guess a 10-pointer for Watkins is not out of the question. Once he plays, I mean, he's always effective. You know, and you always expect him to score once he gets the minutes. Does Watkins, and yeah, if you can captain Watkins, mate. I think Watkins is a decent captaincy shout because evidently Fulham have got nothing to play for as it is, you know. Like, yeah, I mean they can get into the European places, but not sure how serious they are and how they are playing. Overall, they are conceding goals. That's all I can see. So Watkins captain is a good shout, mate. I agree with that. How would you rate the City defense against an? I think City will concede, mate. I think Wolves will score against City. I would be very, very surprised if City keep a clean sheet, mate. City can win the game, but I just think that Ariola to Pickford, Onrea as well. Mate, I don't think you need two playing keepers right now. If you want to go for Pickford, just take out Rhea and move him on for Pickford, mate. I wouldn't do Ariola to Pickford. West Ham have got equally good fixtures as well. I mean, after this game week, you know. So I would, I would just keep Ariola, mate. I wouldn't take a hit for a keeper, mate. No matter what happens, the ceiling for a keeper is not that higher, you know. So I wouldn't waste a hit on a goalkeeper, mate. That's just my opinion. Better take a hit for an outfielder which has a higher ceiling as compared to a goalkeeper, mate. Yes, let's go for the predicted lineups. You're right. Mini league battle, chasing 28 points and leading 41 points, with opponents having assistant manager left. Play risky or play safe. Assistant manager, I think, will give you like 25 odd points depending on how the performance goes, you know, or whether they are playing it on table bonus manager or a safe manager. But I think right now you just need to go with the flow, Summonly. It's not about playing safe or playing risky, you know. I would definitely go for a safe captain if that's what you mean. Maybe, you know, risky means, you know, putting in one or two differential against a couple of safe picks. That's what I would do, but I wouldn't change my captain, you know. I would go for a safe captain, but maybe one or two differential picks, if that's what you mean. City wins at 2-1, reckon KDB and Guardiola to score. Yeah, I hope so, mate. Let's go for the predictions, guys. Let's. I haven't set it up, so I don't know what you're gonna see. See, I told you. I just today I didn't get my time. My son, he wanted me to put him to bed, so I wasn't able to set up my stream. But I guess I hope it's not too much of a disruption. So there you go. Brighton, where's the total this predictions? Just a second, guys. There you go. So Arsenal, Tierney 67%, Zinchenko 78%, Odegaard 44%. I would not captain Guardiola, mate. You know my style. Trossard is 100%, by the way. Odegaard 44, Tierney 67, Zinchenko 78%, Rice 89, Merino 22%, Partey 100%, Nwaneri 100%, Lewis Skelly 11%, Saka 0%. That's pretty convincing from the fans, guys. As convincing as it comes. Aston Villa, you know, there's always this issue with Turner and, you know, Mings and Pau Torres and Dinia and Maatsen, you know, but Ollie Watkins is 100% predicted to start. Even Rashford is 0%. Rogers is 100%. Kamara, Tillemans, you don't want these players, but I mean, Watkins is 100%, and you know, Rashford is 0%. So that says something for those who own Rashford right now. Brighton, I'm not sure how many people want Brighton players right now. Let's just pass it over. Chelsea again. We know everybody who's gonna start. I don't think there's gonna be any surprises. Lavia maybe, you know, but nothing special. Again, Liverpool fans are all over the place. Fans don't know who's gonna start. You know, the only one people feel is nailed on to start is Salah. Otherwise, everybody's 48%, 68, 44, 24. Fans going crazy after winning the Premier League. Even the fans don't know what's going to happen with the Liverpool team news or who's going to line up. You know, Alexander-Arnold is 96%, so that's something. City, guys, I think you're going to be interested in this. Ederson 38%. Moreno or Ortega Moreno 63%. So there's a little bit of ambiguity in the goalkeeping department here. Guardiola 100%, Ruben Diaz 100%, De Bruyne 100%. That is something for the owners of Kevin De Bruyne. 100%. Foden 25%, Gundogan 88%, Bernardo Silva 50%, Doku 38%. This is a minefield. I wouldn't go near this these midfielders. Kovacic has been in a good scoring form recently, and I don't think he's gonna get dropped anytime soon. So if you're looking for a cheap option in Manchester City midfield, I mean Kovacic is one at least who's nailed on. Pep Guardiola had really nice words to say about him as well. Matthias Nunes is playing on right back, so there's nothing much here. I mean, O'Reilly 100%, Marmoush is 100%. So I mean, anybody captaining Marmoush can be at least sure that he's gonna start. But it's the first game of the game week. You never know how it goes. United again a minefield. You don't want to go close to this team anyway. Newcastle this is the type of prediction you want to see. Willock is 93%. Jacob Murphy is 93%. Barnes is 100%. I mean, last week even Gordon, I think he played. So I mean, Gordon's bag, he's fine. But I think if he comes on, he comes off the bench. I'm not so sure. But Isak is 100% for anybody who wants to captain him. Trippier is 100% as well. This is the kind of prediction which I love. Tottenham, I don't think anybody's interested in their players. And that's about it, guys. So we quickly went through the predictions, and now let's go back to my team, and let me go and check Twitter to see if we get any leaks or anything of that sort. Just a second, I'm checking Twitter, and no leaks, I guess, as of now. No leaks as of now. Trying to see, but I don't see any, guys. I just don't want to captain Marmoush is the issue, guys. That's the only issue I have. Jugs, don't captain Guardiola, mate. Good evening, Imran. I hope you're doing well. I hope everything is fine. Sar out for Bowen and Mbeumo in for Saka for a -4. Risk Evan Nilsson against Arsenal as they might rest some defenders, or just go with Wissa. I think Mbeumo and Wissa is better as compared to Mbeumo and Bowen. You can get Bowen next week if you want to. All good, he says. Activated the wild card. Oh man, nice. That's a good time to activate the wild card, mate. Load up on Everton players, Brentford players, Nottingham players, Manchester City players. Couple of West Ham players in there. I would also add Aston Villa players as well. KDB or Bowen, rest my team. I would go with Bowen, mate. I would go with Jared Bowen, 100%. 2 free transfers, please suggest. Jackson, what is the dilemma? One would be Saka to Mbeumo, and second would be, I guess, Mateta to Wissa, if that's possible, mate. If that's possible, I would go with Saka to Mbeumo and Mateta to Wissa. Bowen has Tottenham this game. It doesn't make a difference, Jugs. I mean, both of these teams will rotate heavily. Even Tottenham has this Europa League fixture, and so does Manchester United, and they'll be tired as well, so they'll rotate. So I guess it's not a bad time to get Bowen, mate. Do you expect rotation? I don't expect too much rotation in Arsenal defense. I think Kiwior and Saliba and Rhea will stay put. I guess left back, maybe, Miles Lewis Kelly gets a rest and Tierney comes in. On right back again, Julian Timber may get a rest and Ben White comes in. But overall, that is the only position. I think the full back positions are the only positions where I see Arsenal rotating. Otherwise, yeah. Thoughts on Merino to Bowen and Evanilson to Vardy? Merino to Bowen, Evanilson to Vardy. Mate, I mean, I personally wouldn't go with Vardy. I know their fixtures look really good, but I feel Leicester are on the beach. I mean, Merino to Bowen is fine, but if you have to go with Evanilson, I'd go for Wissa. Feel like I need Mbeumo, but KDB could be nice. CAV, I mean, I wouldn't go for Mbeumo on the expense of KDB. I would go for Mbumo for the expense of Saka. Timber got injured against PSG. Julian Timber go. I mean, I'm not sure, but I think even if he was fine, yeah. Yeah. Timber was taken off obviously, and I don't think he has any chance of playing in this game anyway. Even if he was all right, I think Ben White is gonna play in this game, mate. Sorry, it would be for Saka, but didn't think about bringing in KDB before now. I mean, KDB is a fantastic option, mate. You know, he's gonna leave City at the end of the season, so I mean that's an added like kind of bonus to the story of KDB. You know, he can explode. I can agree. Pickford, 2 Everton defenders: Guardiola, KDB, Salah, Mbumo, Murphy, Isak, Marmoush, Wissa, Sells, Rogers. See if you can throw in Watkins in there somewhere, mate. Maybe in place of Isak, if you can get Watkins. I'd prefer Watkins over Isak. I would go with Watkins in there, mate. Even over Isak, I would go with Watkins. In place of KDB, Salah, Guardiola, Murphy. In place of Murphy, I would go with the Bowen, Jared Bowen. You know, see if you can afford that, mate. KDB is a bonus player, but he can act as a real sword for your team if he plays well. Getting Wissa fixture anyways get bad for Evan Nilsson. Just worried about having 2 Brentford players. They're definitely worth it, mate. They're definitely worth it. They got great fixtures, mate, and especially Mbumo has very high ceiling. Owen Mara says thoughts on Marino to Bowen and Evan Nilsson to Vardy. I already have Wissa and Isak. Then simply do Marino to Bowen, mate. Evan Nilsson to Vardy. I'm just not so sure, mate. I'm not so sure about this move. Start Bruno or Murphy. I'm not even sure Bruno Fernandes plays in this game. Although Bruno plays all the games, but I'd start if you have Bruno. I mean, it's crazy. I'm not even sure if Bruno's still. Let me look at the United predictions, mate. See, Bruno Fernandes is 60% according to the fans. He's 60%. You know, his probability of starting. I'd say put Murphy in the team. Bench Bruno. Imran, consider Watkins and Bowen. Yeah, I agree with that, Giovanni. Thanks for his massive green arrow last week, 97. That's awesome, mate. What about Trossard? I wouldn't go with Trossard, mate. I wouldn't go with Trossard. I would go with Bowen over Trossard. Bench 1 between Sarr and Rogers. Feeling bullish on Sarr after watching him score a brace in the cup match. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much between them. I mean, if you already have Mateta and Munoz, you know, and if you want to triple up on Palace, that's fine. I mean, although you can bench one of the Palace players. If not Sarr, then bench Mateta for Rogers if you want to. Whereas can Arsenal make a great comeback and beat PSG? Yeah, PSG are a bit of a live wire, you know, especially their front line between Kvaratskhelia and Ousmane Dembele and Doué. This Desire Doué is like crazy live wire players they've got there, you know, backed by like solid midfield and defense, along with like Ashraf Hakimi and players like that just bombing forward. I think there's a very, very dynamic team, PSG, mate. For Arsenal to win, I think they're gonna have to win on the counter. You know, one of their players, like somebody like a Declan Rice, will have to put a massive midfield performance away at PSG. I think it's very less probable now, mate. I don't want to give myself false hope that they can. Thoughts on starting Areola over Raya? I wouldn't do it, mate. I'll start Raya over Areola. Asmir says, hey, we're sticking with Saka to Bowen for free and contemplating whether to do Savinho to Bowen or Mateta to Wissa for a -4. Savinia to Bowen, I would. Mateta to Visa for a -4, I would not. Saka to Mbumo, 100%. If you're doing Saka to Mbumo, then I wouldn't take a hit. Maybe for Savinio, but Savinio to Bowen, yes, but otherwise not. So torn up who to start between Trossard, Rogers, and Mateta. I would start Rogers, mate. In that case, maybe Trossard, but if I had the option, I think because Mateta, I'm not sure about his minutes because I think his minutes will get managed because of the final or the semi-final which they have to play, or and Crystal Palace will be focusing on the cup anyway, so not sure about how serious they're going to take this fixture. And Aston Villa, obviously they're trying to push for the European places, and I'd play Rogers, mate. I'd play Rogers. No news, guys. What's going on? Erling Haaland has been included. What? Erling Haaland. Where is the news gone? Erling Haaland has been included in the 2024 EA Sports. What the hell is this news? I need real football news, not EAFC. Can't find any news, guys. Captaincy? I mean, I really want to captain Mo Salah, to be honest with you. I just got a feeling about Salah after extending his contract and winning the Premier League. Differential? Watkins? I think Watkins could be a good differential captain if you want to. Yeah, I'm leaning towards Rogers as well, but I have Trossard and Saliba on the bench, which doesn't feel right. Well, Arsenal. Any news on Diaz? There's no news on Manchester City. Salah against Chelsea. Well, Salah has got this vendetta against Chelsea because Chelsea was the one who let him go. Chelsea were the one to let him go, mate. Remember that? Yep. One to bench from Guardiola, Munoz, Kiwior, and Cons. I would bench Kiwior. ID doesn't start. I'll take a -4 for Bowen to Sar. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, mate, that's totally your call. Mate, it's just a difficult one to recommend a -4. That's all I want to say. I'm just not feeling the Marmoush captaincy right now. By the way, let me make my transfers, guys. I don't want to leave it too late, and then I might forget. Saka, I'll see you soon, mate. If I get a Mbumo, I'll definitely captain him instead of Marmoush. Agreed. City news, I'm waiting for the City news, mate. Myself, I'm waiting for the City news. I just don't have any right now. Nobody's posting any leaks or anything of that sort. If we have any leaks, I definitely will get to know, but you don't have any leaks here, mate. I'm waiting. Nothing. No news, nothing. Guys, like, I have Foden what to do. Transfer him out for Mbumo or Jared Bowen. Who would you start if you had Murphy and Barnes? I would start Barnes, mate. If you look at the... Hang on, just give me a second. Let me look at the Brighton. Mitoma plays on the left side, right? Murphy will have to track Mitoma back. Brighton Football Club. Just a second, mate. I'm sorry I'm taking so long for this. I need to understand. So yeah. So Mitoma plays on this side. Mitoma and Adingra and Solly March plays on this side. So basically, if Mitoma plays here, Jacob Murphy plays here, he's gonna have to play against him, and this guy's Solly March And V for instance to win. I would definitely play Harvey Barnes, mate. Save the hamsters. Make your transfers. Fantastic reminder for everybody to make their transfers on time by our own Smelly Wabbit. Thanks, mate. Start Sar or Munoz? I would start Munoz, mate. I mean, it's a defender versus. I mean, I'm not sure if Sar starts. That's the only issue. I mean, I would play Sar over Munoz, mate. I'm sorry. I think I'll play. I think I'll play Sar over Munoz in case Sar starts. I think he'll do better against that Nottingham Forest defense. You know, looking at how last week Mbumo was able to exploit them. I mean, Vissa was able to exploit them. Two like assists by Flecken of all people for Shada and Vissa. I think I'll start Sar over Munoz. Giovanni says I'd play Sar over Rogers as Forest have a short rest after a long, well-fought game yesterday. I just want to play Rogers, mate. That's my issue. I don't know who else to kind of bench. You know. FPL Sam says similar benching problems. Mateta minutes haven't been great, so that goes against him, but still I agree with that, mate. Actually, Mateta's minutes have been like not good at all. Saka or Mbumo, mate. Mateta's minutes have been the issue, you know. 10 minutes. He came on against Arsenal, scored, you know, in the 10 minutes, and then he plays 45 minutes, 55 minutes, 74 minutes. Doesn't fill me with confidence, Mateta, at all. I mean, technically speaking, I mean, you know, we could play actually Sar, and we could actually bench Mateta as well. That is something which is possible too. But I'm just not sure with Mateta. That's the issue. Neither sure about Sar as well. Kinda in a limbo right now. Chelsea top 5. I can't see another season down the drain, though Nottingham Forest deserves it. Well, Nottingham's wheels kind of seem to be coming off at the wrong time, mate. And, you know, unfortunately for them, and they've had a great season. But, you know, I wouldn't see this scenario previously in the season where Brentford go to their home ground and they win 2-0 there. It wasn't the same Nottingham Forest. Maybe they're feeling the pressure. I don't know what's going on there. Murphy, Sar, Savinio, bench one. I would bench Savinio, mate, I guess. I'm not sure if he starts. Hang on, let me check the news. Any leaks, guys? Omar Marmoush starts for Manchester City, guys. Omar Marmoush starts is the news. If anybody wants to captain Marmoush, that's a good news. Omar Marmoush starts. Come on, where are the City team leaks? Yeah, we have the news that Marmoush starts. I really hate this Maresca guy. Well, you know, he was good for a bit, and then, you know, everything went downhill. I guess it's kind of coincided with the form of Cole Palmer as well. You know, as soon as Cole Palmer's form started to drop, so did the performance of Chelsea as a team. I don't see any other leaks, by the way, guys. The only leak is that Marmoush starts. Does that mean Haaland is in the squad? Yeah, I mean, I don't know about I don't know about that, but at least Marmoush is starting and Haaland is not. Haaland could be in the squad. That you were right about that, mate. Just a second. Haaland will be on the bench. Yeah, you know, but I mean, I think Marmoush plays better with Haaland in the team. You know, when somebody plays hold up for him. Do I tweet at 6:29 p.m. again? I'm chasing top 10k, he says. FPL main road will FPL main road will tweet something, he says, but he'll tweet it so late so that it will not help us. Pep is now gonna make chaos in the end. Pep always makes chaos, mate. He's the bald fraud, isn't he? I'm not, by the way, I'm just saying it. Trust me, Viz, Pep is something else. I know, mate. I totally know. I've been a victim of the Pep roulette so many times over the years. I absolutely know what you mean, my friend. People are asking lazy FPL about Kevin De Bruyne. Let's see if he answers. Let's see if he answers. He always does. Absolutely does, mate. Absolutely. Pep Guardiola is Pep Guardiola. Guys, give me your opinion whether I should start Mateta or Sar. This is my last this. Hey mate, who do I sell to bring in Mbumo, Murphy, Eze or Sar? I would sell bro, why do I have to answer the difficult questions? I would sell Eze, mate. Eze. Marco says, I'm going with Sar over Mateta. Then I'm going with what Smelly Vapid is gonna do. Smelly Vab is my friend. You know, I'm gonna go with what he's doing as well. Do you think Saka to Mbumo and Savinho to Bowen is worth it for a free, taking into account the rest? I agree with you. I definitely think they're worth, mate. But I wouldn't leave it too late to make the transfers. Don't trouble our hamsters, mate. Make the transfers now. Mr. Blanky says, hey mate, who do I sell to bring in Mbumo, Murphy? Yeah, I already answered that. Yeah, so I'm going with Sar over Mateta, and that is something, guys, isn't it? Mateta or Konza? One to start. Mateta, mate. Striker over the defender. I mean, if you feel Mateta is going to start the game and play more than 45 minutes, then Mateta. If you feel that Mateta is not going to start, then Konza. That's the caveat I can offer you, you know. I'm benching Mateta myself and I'm telling you to start him, but, you know, I don't have that option, you know. Mate, who do I sell to bring in Mbumo? I would sell Eze, mate. Eze. Mr. Blanky, I'd sell Eze. Or even Sar if you want to. I mean, you can choose one of the Palace players over Murphy. I would keep Murphy as compared to these two. Against Brighton, I think there can be chaos in that game. Brighton's always chaos. A flutter of butterflies' wings on one side of the world can lead to chaos on the other side of the world. You know what that is? Who knows what I just said? Tell me. Who agrees or who knows what I just said? Why did you choose Konza over Kiwi or clean sheet? Yeah, I guess so, mate. I'm not sure if Arsenal are gonna keep a clean sheet. That's the only reason. Guys, how many of you know the butterfly effect? Non-linearity everywhere. Anyways, let's not talk about that. With the Haaland rumors being back, do you think it's worth captaining Marmoush, or is Mbumo the safer bet if you have both? I think Marmoush is a fine option for captaincy. I don't think there's any issue with that, mate. The only issue is it's the first fixture of the game week, which is the reason I'm not captaining Marmoush. Otherwise, I don't think there's any problem with Marmoush. Even with the Haaland news, I don't think Marmoush is gonna get subbed off for Haaland. Even if Haaland comes on and Marmoush is on, I think it's better for Marmoush rather than worse for him. I think it's better for him. What do you expect for Kluivert? Effective ownership? I'm not so sure, mate. I really am not so sure about Kluivert. Hang on, let me check. Kluivert is 11%. I think it should be. What's your rank? What's your rank? And we, then I can. If you're like in the top like 100k, top 200k, I think its ownership is around gonna be effective ownership is around 10%. I guess I'm not so sure. 10% maybe. 1k. Oh man, I don't think its effective ownership is gonna be that high in the top 1k, mate. I think it's gonna be less than 10%, mate. And fantastic season, Brian. And, many congratulations. I hope you finish the season in the top 1k and as high as possible. These are the seasons to remember, mate. Enjoy your time and congratulations. Last week he was 24. What was your rank last week? Also, last week many people were on free hit, so his effective ownership, I think it was bit of a misleading number. My decision is Evanilson versus Clivert. I would go with Clivert, mate, over Evanilson. I think Clivert. I would go with Clivert over Evanilson. I think so. When he plays, he causes chaos, this player, Clivert, I feel. Evanilson slightly higher minutes, probably level EV on FPL. Yeah, I agree with that. Evanilson will get higher minutes, but I don't know. Clivert, I think, has a history against Arsenal, a little bit of scoring goals as well. I think how many he scored 2 goals against Arsenal. Let me check. Just give me a second. You're on a very sensitive rank. I need to give you a very good answer. What's Clivert's record against Arsenal? I think the only problem with Clivert, Evanilson is he's on penalties. Maybe he's on penalties, right? That's the only thing. No, Patrick Clivert. God damn it, Justin Clivert. Hang on. Justin Clivert. Clivert gives Bournemouth 2-0 lead versus Arsenal. Justin Clivert made 3-1. Time off, and Evanilson also set a record winning third. Justin Clivert took a penalty versus Arsenal, right? When they beat him. If Justin Clivert plays, he's gonna play on this side, and it's gonna be against Ben White versus Evanilson, who's gonna play against Saliba. It's a difficult one, Brian. It's a bit tough. Just a second, wait. Guys, I'm sorry if you're asking me any questions I'm not answering. I need to answer the question of this, our friend. He's too high up. He's too high up in rank, and we need to help him, guys. Just give me a second, Brian. You're going for Evanilson? That's absolutely fine. So, Clivert's predicted points against Arsenal are 3.9, right? According to Hub. Evanilson's predicted points are 4.2. So even according to Fantasy Football Hub, Evanilson edges Clivert by a few points. Hang on, let me check according to Fix. Give me a second. How much time do you have? 2 minutes. Mate, I think you can go with, aside from Marmoush, no leaks this time. Yep, no leaks. Start Ruben Diaz, Kivior, or Sar. I would start Sar. So Brian, I think it's fine to go with Evanilson, mate. I think it's fine. I don't think there's too much to choose between them, but Evanilson is fine, mate. I'm sorry we didn't have more time to do a deeper analysis right now, but just lock your team. You've got 1 minute 30 seconds to go. It's always better to Kivior or Konsa. I'm going with Konsa, mate. My logic is simple. I don't want double Arsenal defense against Bournemouth. Star, Mateta, or Sar? I'm going with Sar. Mateta, I'm just concerned about the minutes. If you're not concerned about the minutes, then I would go with Mateta. If you're not concerned about the minutes. KDB starts, Savinho benched. KDB starts, Savinho benched is the leak. Guys, you got 1 minute to do something about this information. KDB starting, Savinho is benched. Once more repeating, FPL main road is leaked. KDB starting, Savinho is benched. I'm posting it as well here on the chat. Guys, do whatever you want to with this information. De Bruyne is starting, guys. If you have De Bruyne, I mean, captaining Marmoush, you could think about captaining De Bruyne as well, guys. I mean, if you want to go differential, you can captain De Bruyne as well. Mateta or Rogers? I would go with Rogers, mate. Minutes are safe for Rogers. By the way, let me check my team, guys. I'm just talking here. Sometimes I forgot to lock my own team. Hamsters are working really hard, guys. I can give you that. Lock your teams. He did wait 1 minute before the deadline. He always does that, mate. We still have time, you know. If like, I mean, you just need to make contingency plans before the information comes out. What's gonna happen if KDB starts? What's gonna happen if KDB doesn't start? What am I gonna do? You should be clear in your mind, and only then you can use this information. Otherwise, you cannot. I mean, if I had KDB and if I got that information, I'd be tempted to kind of captain him. But it's deadline, by the way. It was a much busier stream than I expected it to be, by the way. You know, I was expecting a pretty cool, calm, relaxed stream, but man, oh man, I didn't even get a chance to take a sip of water. It was too neck and neck. You know, too many questions. Well, it's deadline, and FPL main road always posts in the last minute. So you always know how it happens, right? Final season in City Colors, he would be missed in FPL, says FPL Zoo. Good luck, everyone. Good luck, mate, says Sanbees. Thank you so much. Egyptian Prince, Captain Hope, everything goes well, says some. Egyptian Prince for everybody is Marmoush, not Salah. He's the king. Egyptian king. And now the prince as well. Let's see how it goes, guys. Crazy. KDB starts, Savinho is not starting. We know that now. If I had this information before, you know, I'd be tempted. For everybody asking me who's a good differential captain, I'd say KDB. KDB, definitely. If he's starting, then definitely. Let's see how it goes. Well, guys, so this was all about today's deadline stream. I thank you all for being here with me on today's deadline stream. I'm much more eager and waiting for the second leg of Arsenal against PSG, and just hoping and praying that Arsenal can do some miracle in Paris, just like Manchester United did there a few years back. FPL Sum says I had the exact money to do Savinho to KDB, but could not take on the Mbumo risk. I would not take on Mbumo, mate. If you're on a higher rank, I think a lot of people will own Mbumo. I would not take that risk as well. You made the right choice. Hey Brian, if you're listening, if you want any opinion, if you want any help from my end, you know, feel free to send me a DM on Twitter, or just join our deadline streams earlier, and you know, I'll try my best to help you as you know, as best as I can, mate. And many congratulations on top 1k. Juggernaut says I'm at 153k. That's a great rank to be on, Jugs. That's great. And you know, you got a triple captaincy, right? So you can push on to get into the top 100k, and that's gonna be fantastic. I think that's a great rank to be on, provided the number of people who play this game right now. Top 100k is, you know, the new top 10k, I guess. I don't know. Oh, you don't have any chips left. You can still push for top 100k, mate. You know, one good game week is all it needs. 3 like average game weeks and one good game week is all it takes to get into the top 100k. Just don't get left behind, you know. That's all you need to do right now, and not take too many hits is obviously something which, which should be prioritized at this moment. I mean, even if you finish at top 150k, I mean, it's still a fantastic rank to be on, mate. You know, Trossard was the one who put me on top 50k. Having him on my bench hurts me. Well, sometimes you need to make decisions that you need to make. Arsenal, they've got all their eyes on the semi-final, mate. I'm not even sure. I mean, although they need to win their games in the Premier League as well, to avoid dropping out of the top two and dropping down to top 3, top 4. You never know what happens. I've just taken a -4, he says. That's the issue, mate. I wouldn't take hits if I was close to top 100k. Just play it safe and sound, and just plan for the future. Get Brentford players, get Nottingham Forest players, get Manchester City players, get Everton players, get West Ham players. Gonna be fine, guys. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being on today's stream. It was fantastic, and as I told you at the start, I was cutting it really close today. Right before the stream, 10 minutes before the stream or 15 minutes before the stream, my son wanted me to put him to bed, and I was like, man, today I'm gonna have to kind of skip the stream today. But gladly he slept in 7 minutes, and I was able to set up the stream and come do the stream. Thanks to the angels, or thanks to the sheep, whatever he counted before going to sleep. Thoughts on United's possible cup win as well as Arsenal's nothing again? Well, I mean, United win the Europa League. It's going to be fantastic, mate. I mean, it's looking like a Spurs versus United final could happen. Very interesting. Spurs in the final and United in the final, not versus. I mean, Spurs in the conference. What do you call that? Europa League, and I mean, United versus Tottenham in the final of Europa League for the Champions League spot. Gonna be fantastic, mate. Good for English football, good for everybody, provided if Arsenal qualify for the final. I'm just gonna be praying. Spurs might take it as well. I don't think so, mate. I honestly don't think so. I think Spurs are just gonna bottle. You remember the final against Liverpool, the Champions League final? Look how they won against Ajax and then just didn't do anything in the final. It was like they just came there, and they had no plans, no ideas on how to play against Liverpool, and Liverpool just won that game. They've been abysmal this season, those Spurs. They are allergic to cups. That's my only hope. Well, you still have to play your second legs, guys. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched. But I think United and Tottenham are gonna make the final. To be honest with you, if I'm being honest with you, they're gonna both make the finals. So, and I think United are gonna win. That's just what I feel. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being on tonight's stream for me, and I hope I was able to answer all your questions, and I hope you have a great game week 35, and I will see you for the next week's deadline stream, which is game week 36. Till then, take care, everybody. Have a great game week. FPL is signing out. May the arrows be green, and I hope Arsenal win against PSG. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Have a great game week. Bye bye.